someone drops the ball, usually someone else in that same camp picks it up, so you just hear a second voice. Didn't happen this time. Everyone was slightly surprised.
Yes, they were. All right, we're going to have JD starting on top side here, and Suning starting on bottom.
So one thing that I would make a point of, because I said that fleet footwork was the expected point for Shao, actually goes towards an airy proc, so it's just going to be a little bit more damage within the lane. Means that he can actually stay within arm's reach just throwing Qs, and he's still going to get the extra damage across. So loses out in the attack speed that you get in your precision tree, but gets a little bit in terms of just the range of throwing Qs. So we're going to have to see if it ends up giving him a little bit more range to be respectful when he actually starts pushing out. You can already see, even though the camera's on the bottom side of the map, that he's not just hard push shoving the lane. You have to respect Camille's early pathing, or level 2 is just a bit too devastating to disrespect.
Ah. Bummer. Bit of a killjoy. Gonna come out here with a quick pause.
Look, I was hyping it up. Now it's just
I know.
You have to go on to episode 2 now. Cliffhangers happen. You're just
That's
gonna
the
have
worst
to
type
find
of
out
cliffhanger.
where's the Camille going to go? Bot lane, mid lane, top lane, because you know she's annoying and she's gonna gank.
Find out next time on episode 2 of the e-commerce wars. Was that JoJo's Bizarre
Yes,
Adventure?
it was.
Incredible.
I had 2 options, either that or Dragon Ball Z, but I actually forgot that one.
I think that the one that's more appropriate is JoJo's.
Yep.
To be honest.
Just
That's
because of Sepia.
usually you run, yeah, and then you run it before Disaster. So do you think that Disaster is going to strike here today, Raz?
Yeah, I'll say. I mean,
Yeah.
I set up that Camille thing pretty well. I think it would be more surprising if Camille actually farmed for level 3.
Yeah.
Because she is actually super bad at getting that farming game done. I understand she's going up against a Sejuani who's not that much better, but you know, Sejuani can clear AoE camps, so she can go towards the Krugs, the Raptor camp. Camille gets absolutely bitten. She's going to be coming out with multiple chicken bites, because after she's done Raptor camp, she's like, well, I guess I can't really gank level 3. So it's one of those points where you have to track down what a Camille is looking to do, and you really do want to see her going either mid lane or top lane.
If you come out from the farm and then you've been pecked by a bunch of chickens, would you call it a chicken bite? Or what would you call that wound?
Chicken pecks.
Chicken pecks.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really roll off the top. I don't know if anyone would say that.
I'd say chicken bite.
Yeah, chicken bite. I think so too.
Yeah.
It just sounds weird because they don't have teeth.
That would be, I was just thinking about it,
Yeah.
and you know how good this world would be if chickens had teeth.
Pretty horrific.
Yeah. That would make Google Images a lot better.
I tell you what, they wouldn't be domesticated for certain. They would probably rule the world.
I don't think there's such thing as a domesticated chicken. Just putting that out there. I could be wrong.
This is domesticated almost every type of animal, to be honest. You know, people own tigers, they own bears, they own foxes.
I'm just putting this
I'm
out
sure
there.
someone has a pet chicken.
People don't go out of their way to buy a chicken, to own that chicken. Maybe if you're a farmer, you just have a few chickens, and you're like, this one's named Bob.
Yep.
It's with me now.
Yeah.
That's fair enough, but chicken market doesn't take kindly to someone who buys it without, you know, making use of its body parts. I'm just putting that out there.
That's fair, no. And also, you know, from living in China, I will say that I like the fact that the cuisine in general uses every part of the chicken. I've become a big fan of chicken cartilage while over in China.
I will say, though, it's kind of creepy. I remember I just came back from Beijing.
Yeah,
Small story.
you did, yeah.
And one of the biggest cuisines that they had was literally just a full duck. The only worrying fact was the fact that there were so many statues of cute ducks in the store.
Oh, no.
That I was just looking at a very cute duck with an umbrella that was holding while eating a duck. I couldn't handle that.
Yeah, that's my issue too when they do that. Oh, they'll have Sejuani moving into Tribush, but probably just going to go back to base. Doesn't really feel the gank right now. But also nice to be here just in case that that Lumao decides to jump in on them.
This is a good counter gank though. Look at the wards of Camille. Still level 2, but here we at it.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of damage already onto Leona, even though she's got the Aftershock. Jumps towards the Sejuani trying to get out of this one. Will be able to do so. The teleport is cancelled from JD. And as you said, Klid also came down. So Lumao is not going to die, though he did sustain heavy injuries.
Just took a long time for Klid to walk over. So, of course, no boots this early on. He tried. He really did. He had a good idea that this was likely going to happen. In fact, it's either that or he was setting up for a gank of his own, seeing if Leona could find a pick. This would be a very early dive, but they're setting up for it.
Yeah, Yagao's on his way. He doesn't have round warp because, well, he's level 4. Clid is waiting in the wings right here, and Fury, he's about to see it as, what a setup coming in from Loken. Heck yeah, bring up the emotes, because that was sick.
Mass emotes, and I could not believe that the third feather was actually placed. Now, Ahri would ordinarily, anyone would take note of that, get away from that. But in this situation, there was actually so much to worry about. He was completely getting surrounded. So just focusing on the details wasn't happening for Fury. There's way too much for him to focus on, so for the third feather to stack right behind him, devastating.
I mean, who really thinks of a Xayah setup in that situation?
Nobody.
You were waiting for the Sejuani, oh, sorry, the Camille or the Leona, anything else but the Xayah.
Is the last person you look towards because she's not the one who's going to be tanking the turret. But apparently she was at the width in which the tower didn't hit her, but she was able to set up the extra feather. So really well done from Loken. Made it so much easier to get the dive across. Otherwise, it was going to be messy. Someone was going to use their flash, but in this case, it didn't happen.
Unbelievable stuff. So JD will strike first with first blood in this series. No, it's Suning Day, but currently it's definitely going the way of JD. Now, got absolutely bodied as he walked up to the minions, though he does have an extra health potion in tow, and he's also got Relic Shield, so he will be okay. And take a look at the runes there from Ahri. Will be Domination first, taking Electrocute, and then going for Gathering Storm in Sorcery.
Now, I'm going to make an obvious point about Ahri.
Okay.
Since changing from last season to this season from rune pages, she has lost a lot of value because of how much AP she can get in her runes. So back in the day, you can just run AP or flat penetration. Just like you can run what you want in your rune page. And actually, Thunderlords itself had such a lower cooldown that it was more reliable to get Ahri damage, as Ahri damage is coming across.
Well, that's going to be Mal jumping in there once again, but now he's going to have to walk it back against a ranged champion. He's going to take a lot of damage from this one. Fury's going to have another spell up in a hot second, but yeah. Going to walk it back to his tower, so looking for those engagers, but not coming out the strong end of that one. So I feel like JD probably going to go to base here.
But expect a lot more. The only reason why it was a little bit difficult this time around is because Loken himself didn't base, so he has a kill. He wants a BF sword. That's what he's looking for to make the matchup that much harder. But to my point earlier on about how Ahri's a little bit harder to play in the early laning phase because of her lacking damage based off the rune page alone, Electrocute procs are massive. But so few and so far in between is the difficult part about it. So then it makes it so if you do fall behind, in this case has happened, it's so much more devastating. So you're going to have to see if they're going to take advantage of this.
Oh, double taunt coming through from Yoon, and that will secure the kill right there. A little bit too easy. Predicting the Duke on there on the back end onto Loken, but still, nice 2 versus 2 kill.
Great management of the waves from Fury and Yoon. Both of them recognized that Loken and Mao were trying to base. Took some time, and then they're, like, yeah, okay, well, they're staying on the map for a little bit longer. If they can look for a setup, they got it. Yoon got a double taunt. Great play so far. This duo has been exceptional this split. Last split, I feel like since coming into the LPL, they've only gotten better, and they were already setting up a pretty high bar.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, to be honest, that bar keeps on going up and up and up, to the point where all their opponents are continuing to play Limbo. Because they're only just getting better.
Yeah, getting better, and the meta has really helped them out. They're a strategic bottom lane. They actually aspire to strategy a lot more than the others, because if you think about what they play more often, it's like Ashe and Tom Kench, who's what you'd say that they're great at. It's because of the setup that they have going from one play to the next. And now you just said, hey, you can play CC bottom lanes, Mage bottom lanes, these bruiser bots. So they're like, sure, we'll play kill lanes a lot more frequently. We'll play Shen support, even though Shen support's not that revolutionary. Ahri bottom lane is what they started out with. So for them, coming out with these different bottom lanes that favor the meta is what they would have wanted.
Now we put a big focus as well onto the solo lanes of JD. So far, Zoom is getting absolutely bodied topside by that Gnar. The first couple levels, as you said, are okay for the Maokai, but post that, it's all Gnar, baby. And he's definitely made the advantage from that.
I was a little bit surprised when Clid decided to put his focus in the bottom lane, that it was probably the safest lane for his team, and not mid and top. Mid for the most gank setup, up against the Yasuo, sure he has cleanse, but then you can blow his cleanse. Or top lane, that's literally just CC on CC on CC versus a mini Gnar that's going to push. Shadow expected it. Angel helped, he expected it. That's the only reason why Ryze got the shove and was able to come bottom lane so early. They were just surprised that Clid was just going and aiming for the bottom lane.
Yep. Bit waiting in the brush right here. Go on, Yoon. Take one step forwards. See what happens.
Yeah, you see nothing.
Oh! The flash forwards. He actually went onto the AD carry, and instead it's an Ari. That's going to be an instant kill to Loken.
I love the basic things. I love the small touch. He did it in the middle of a wave and didn't mess it up by hitting a minion. I'm just putting that out there, all right? But Flash, so much confidence, and this could be a dive as well. I understand it's difficult to dive a Shen. Wait a minute.
I think they might just do it anyway, to be honest, but that's going to be ultimate coming through. Dodge out from Clid with the ultimatum, but Mao is still walking away. Teleport comes down, and he goes golden in the middle of 3 people. That's a lot of damage coming in from the Yasuo, actually. Clid turning this one around, though. Yagao following through. I said Yasuo, I mean Rise, because it's Yagao coming through once again with a round walk coming in with 2. But here comes the Ari back from base. They must have known this was going to happen. But Clid, he goes golden as well. Yagao, he wants to get behind the minions. But the minions are saying, get down, Mr. President.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't even know he's level 6.
I can't believe he got level 6, going to come forwards. Had the flash, was thinking about it, but didn't go onto Yagao right there because the rest of the team was right behind him. And that will just be, I think, just a 1 kill in the end.
And I think that was necessary for the ulti to come down. Otherwise, that's a tower that's going down. Or at least the wave is going to be that much more of a loss for the Ari. So doubling down so they get some control down there. But goddamn, what happened? That was insane to see for JD to commit so heavily while Suning was on the run coming down to save the play. So well done from Suning initially to come down and defend the Shen. Because we already saw the first 10 minutes of this game. The Shen was going to get dived in the process of doing so. So this coming in, protecting him. Even the teleport that was being channeled but ultimately just cancelled in the top side. So that one's incredibly important. Because the top lane scuffle was happening. I was wondering how that was cancelled. No help for the rest of the Suning here. So you got to see that happen.
Yeah, and it was a prolonged trade from there on out. Felt bad for Yagao because all he wanted was to get behind the minions so he could actually fire out an overload and get another kill. But didn't happen. And then the Shen was there as well, also managed to ding 6. So it all worked out in the end for Suning, managing to defuse that very long gank coming in from JD.
But now the situation is a little bit worse here for Suning because while they came in to counteract the play, JD came out of it just fine. And the result is the same. Ari is that much farther behind, 0, 2, and 1. Still behind in CS, well, I guess with that minion a little bit in the lead. Issue here is that BF Sword, double dagger, and the moment she completes the Storm Razors, it's so much harder for Fury to actually deal with that. He's going to be using his ultimate far more defensively throughout the game, so I wonder how Suning Gaming are going to be responding to the fact that this tower is going down in about the next few minutes.
Oh, that's going to be another setup from Loken with the Blade Caller. Once again, finds the Charmer. Mao locked underneath this tower. It's going to be the turnaround damage, though. Last tower shot, not going to be enough. His Clid is coming down into the Tri-Brush. Loken backing up now because Hacker's on his way. He's searching for a target, someone to put in the ice cage, but no one is around.
That was just a good replay from Yoon, actually putting down the field so there's no follow-up damage from Desire. So just protecting your Ari at all times, getting bullied, but no bullying here.
It's no bully zone, right? It's bullying here in the LPL.
Yeah, get out of here.
I'm going to bully Fury. He just missed a cannon minion that was very easy to pick up in front of his tower.
I thought you were trying to be the anti-bullying
I was, but I watched him miss a cannon that he could have gotten, so
yeah, natural.
Unlucky. Yeah, again, shout-outs to my buddy Topside Zoom. He's now 40 CS down. This is a feels bad man for the old Maokai, which was last pick, by the way, into another hero he knew was there. And I feel bad, because he hasn't known a jungler. He hasn't known an ally jungler. He's been bot side this entire game.
That's one of those things.
He's still bot side.
Yeah, I was expecting how both these teams were going to play it out because priority happens top lane so heavily in the recent games for both Xiao L and Zoom. And Zoom's saying that he's actually going to play for the team. So they've recognized that team fighting is so much more important for them. And it's Zoom who has to take it for the team. So at least he's not losing too much. Even using his ultimate just to back him on up. Get out of here.
He's just trying to clear the wave, man, at this point. Like, the tower's very low. In fact, Xiao Ao almost taking the tower by himself in top side. Of course, that will be first tower of the game going to JD, and Suning Gaming, because they have Nav in top winning, they take a very easy Herald here. They'll be able to turn that into hopefully something more. Lumao on his way with Yagao, water over the wall. It's already gone, folks.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
One thing you take note of is that Sejuani is probably the fastest clear as a tank on these massive objectives.
Oh, yeah.
Because of her E just constantly procs on it. So You just don't know the timing on the new
It's
set.
a lot of damage, yeah. Really good at contesting crabs, really good at contesting Herald.
Yep.
It's just a really frustrating thing when you're just facing Sejuani. It's just one of those things that she has. Because it's basically just a one-shot. In the end, JD will rotate their duo lane to the top lane. And will send Zoom into the bottom lane. And he's like, finally, a respite from Gnar. And Gnar's on his way to the bottom lane.
Yeah, this is really tough for Suning Gaming. At the very least, you can see what Yoon's doing here, holding the wave. Makes it easier for them to farm it up a little bit. Ahri shouldn't be using her Q there, but just take a look at it. Stormrazers even has the Berserker's Greaves, going up against Fury that just doesn't even finish his first item now. So at least the movement speed is there from the magic penetration boots, but at this moment is not going to be able to contest in damage at all. So you're in a weird position where JD are just going to continue on, pedal to the metal. Suning Gaming just has to play super defensively, hopefully get at least one pick. Shen's been doing a great job so far. So Shen, it's all on you, Yoon. I have faith. Fight the system.
If there's anyone you're going to put faith into, I would say Yoon is a good one. I would definitely give him my money and send him to the bank with my rent. Clid, it's also an LO, but he's really just opening up space for his duo lane to take the tower pretty much by themselves. I heard a Herald go off.
Yeah, bottom lane.
Bottom lane, Shelly's going to have a crack at this one.
The annoying part about this one is that it's just going to be leading towards the inner tower as well. So
yep.
JD are going to have to play this one out. They didn't push the bottom lane out, top lane out completely, so it can be frozen just a little bit. You can see it's already being done by Ahri and Shen. So it's actually just Suning Gaming taking full control of the waves that they have. Before they were completely defensively, but now they have the priority based off that one Rift Herald push.
Feels good for them, but still 1-2 in terms of towers, so JD have a nice little bit of extra gold to them, and I feel like a lot of their gold is centered actually on Loken. He currently has his Stormrazers and also has an extra attack speed item in the Zeal, and also the dagger on top of that, so he's in a pretty nice place for himself.
And I would say for him to get a rapid fire cannon, that's the most important one. If you finish your first Zeal item, then you get the full damage out of your Stormrazers. It's fully scaled up on that one, because you only just need the 30% attack speed, or crit, I mean. So once he gets that for himself, you're great. You have the extra range there. You don't have to worry too much about the Ahri coming at you. Same, you could probably say for the Sejuani. There's a lot more that you can react to just based off of when you're walking up and you have that first auto attack. So there's more for him to, I guess, be confident in moving up against the mid lane towers. So there's that you can look towards for JD. For Suning Gaming, it seems like he's aware. Child knows. Spider sense is a tingling.
Somewhere in my jungle is JD.
He's definitely the daredevil. He's closing his eyes like, oh my goodness. But he's definitely he definitely is aware that someone is in the vicinity. He can feel it. Can't say who it is. He's getting out of there.
When he dons the suit.
Yep.
Yeah. I guess he is a bit like Daredevil, isn't he? He gets angry and he transforms. And he goes red.
Oh my god, you're right.
He's got a red suit. Daredevil doesn't get bigger, I guess. So the analogy breaks down a little bit, but they're pretty similar. He doesn't use a boomerang.
Metaphorically speaking,
but apart from that, metaphorically, they're like identical.
He's a monster.
Yeah, who's Kingpin? Man. Usually I'd say Zoom, he's the guy who'll meet you in a 1v1 and wreck you. Uh-oh.
Look, I was trying to say he had the reaction time, and he needs it. Get this man a rapid-fire cannon so he could have that
never
much
be in range
reaction
for the charm in the first place.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we have it.
He's fine. He's fine. The Clid also access into the enemy jungle. Shout out. He knew it. He knew someone was there all this time.
That's a safe assertion to make when you're both these teams and you recognize you're going up against Clid or you're going up against Akro. In this case, it's Clid with the aggressive jungle pick as the warrior, so he's willing to fight. So at this point, JD can look towards getting those red buff steals a lot more frequently.
100%. And I think that Clid, this meta really does suit him. There's a lot of different junglers you can play that are aggressive. Suits him down to a T. Always just be in there, getting objectives for the team. And now soon in gaming, we're looking at a potential setup, 8-round dragon. Oh, here come the cats. Watch out, Suning.
Oh no!
Here they come. Oh, they're going to get the instant pick there onto Mao. Loken turns around. That's a great blade caller. Now, dodge out of Angel's aggression as well. A sick coming out from Loken, but now he's flashless.
This is when you should feel worried, though. The fact that
Get him.
Lumao was able to get slaughtered on that rotation alone. In fact, Fury being able to just burst him down that easily, then you just know that you can't really trust your front to back just yet. It isn't there. Leona can't handle it. Oh no.
The wrong place and the wrong time. Gets caught in a very dark alley with 4 members of Suning. And they shank him to death.
Yeah, the typical Suning shanking. But the vision control is what's actually there for him. So you have the pick potential, and Ari's becoming very useful.
Just barely dodging out of that one, but still gets knocked off the back of that one. We'll back away, but he's still dead. Lumao comes forwards, and Loken, he can't really output the damage here because he's just blown up on the spot. That's a double kill coming in for the Ari right there. Zoom, now he's getting involved into the fight, but again, the knockups come through from Angel. My God, that is an ace, and that is a quadra.
That is so uncharacteristic of JD, that they can just be running in one after another when they already know that Lumao wasn't going to be there for a little bit. Yagao got caught off, so why are you trying to defend the tower? Head on back to the second one. But that being said, you got to give Suning their dues. That was so well played in terms of tower aggro. They stayed on it. They got the members while they were moving. And if the one member, if we get a replay, Hacker himself, low HP because 100% of that damage is on the tower. So take a look at this. He recognized that he has to be the one that starts on tower aggro. He starts tanking it and then moves at a respectable area actually for quite some time and lets the rest of his team do the work. He knows that they have the damage, and all he needs to do is move in, move out. No wasted movement. Fury even took just 2 tower shots before he came right back to land in the next rotation of his skills.
I mean, exceptionally played by everybody right there in that pressure scenario. I mean, the knockups were perfect for Angel. Every single time he lands a knockup, it turns into a kill. Fury on point, gets the quadra in the end. And that was a quadra well earned as well. I see a lot of quadras nowadays and I'm like, well, they just last hit him. That was all set up by the team, by him included. Suning Gaming coming out with 5 kills, tower in the mid lane, second tower in the mid lane. Massive swing in terms of gold. Slingshots them. 4,000 gold ahead of JD.
Incredible. And that was just them 110% putting in the work and recognizing their windows. Because JD, they're going to look back at this, whether they win or not, and try and figure out how did they lose this with how much control they had early on in the game, how much gold they had in towards Loken. And a lot of it is just based off the random wars that they would have to catch out members. One was Lumao, second one was Yagao. And then they were able to pick one after another and recognize what they could do with that kind of window. So it's ridiculous to see that and be like, they actually just got a full goal lead. 4 kills on towards a starving Ari off one mistake alone.
Not starving anymore, Raz.
Yeah, there we go. She's well fed.
Yep. Had a feast in middle lane.
A true pot belly, that one.
Yeah. Feeling very good about that. And it's also completed first item out from the mid lane of Angel, plus a BF sword. Top lane feeling very good.
She has a Banshee's Veil.
She has 2 items, Raz.
She was nowhere near that last time. And now she's stacked.
But let's think about it. 1,200 gold at the very least, outside of like shutdown bonuses, coming from the quadra kill. 2 towers also being in close proximity. So you're looking at 1,600, 1,700 gold off of that play.
This is the type of revisionist history you have to watch out for, because Fury going into this game, or at least coming out of it, it's like everything is spectacular. Don't even worry about it, Mom. I actually had this game from start to finish, blasting the opponents. You take a look at least the first 10 minutes, and you're like, I don't know how this happened.
No.
You lied to me, but what actually happened this game?
I only see 12 minutes played, actually, in this game.
Yep.
It's all been Suning. It's all been coming up Suning. 4 towers to do. Pushing up the top side, moving through the jungle. This top jungle was entirely theirs. Actually, just take a look at the vision control from JD. What vision control? They have like a ward top side in the pixel brush. They have 2 in the bottom, but the top side is lit up by Suning.
It's just a great example of how to use your wards defensively to get yourself back into the game. And now that they literally just have a full tank of gas, they went to that gas station, filled it up with premium, and they're now just throwing their wards everywhere topside, saying that you can't touch Baron 23 minutes into the game.
Yep.
You can't touch your own jungle, so you can move to Baron. They're pretty damn safe. I mean, they have a Yasuo, so this composition can rush the Baron buff, but they're playing with their food at this point.
They really are. Going to get themselves a dragon, first one of the game actually, over towards them, and it will be a mountain dragon to follow up. And it will go back to base to spend even more gold. I reckon that Yasuo's probably sitting on a fair chunk of change.
There we go.
Yep, there you go. It's going to be a straight buy into the Guardian Angel here for him, which is going to be... And he bought a pickaxe. Yeah, he actually had a lot of gold.
And the worrying... Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, they found Clid. What a so much damage! That's just from an Ahri.
No comment. She just does too much damage at this point. And look at the items that Clid has. Literally, well, now he purchased the Phage, but that HP didn't exist beforehand. Warriors and just the...
Merc Treads?
No, it's the Gnasher's Tooth recipe.
Stinger?
Stinger.
Yep.
Got the Stinger.
I should have led with Bilbo's sword. And then had you figure out the rest.
The slashing, the wand. Anyways, they're going to have to do something about this. Suning have full control of this area.
You do. Mao over the wall. But they don't really know what's going on. Well, they know what's going on, but they don't know how low the Baron is. It's down to 5,000 HP, but Suning, you can see they're just keeping around here, making sure the steel doesn't come free, because really, what they're looking for is the fight. The cat's coming forward.
He's
but
surrounded.
It is a zoning cat wall. Ah! Oh, Xiao, he's got the Shen on top of him because he wants to lock down Lumao, but he's already got the lockdown because he has the Frozen Mallet. And Mao is just caught out.
Well, that's a real, I mean, he's doing well for himself. So this early on, you've just lost your main point of engage. JDG do not have their added vision control.
Oh boy.
My goodness, Loken might be next.
He's going to be okay in the end, but he was very close to a Xiao Ao's angry Nah. And in the end, he will be okay.